Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? We're thankful. So much has been going on. Gina, hello. And who do we have here today?
Hello. We have extraordinary guest Sean Callaghy. Miss Antonia Roybal-Mack joined us for the gala, came to one of the nights at our immersion. She said she learned how to check her ego at the door. Woo. She's a wealth preservation attorney from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She knows there are 2 times in life when people transfer wealth: during death and divorce. Mother of twins, crusader for deaf children, who just authored her first book, Empowering Women Through Divorce. Cry all you want, just get it done. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Antonia Roybal-Mack to the Atlanta.
Antonia, welcome to the party. Happy Trajectory Tuesday. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for attending the gala. How are you? And what is your fun fact?
I am fantastic. Thank you for having the gala. My fun fact is that one time I went to the county fair as an adult and I bought one of those little dwarf goats because they were really cute walking on leashes. I live in the middle of the city, so I showed up with my Mercedes to pick up my dwarf goat and brought it home because I texted my husband and said, "Can I buy a goat?" And he didn't text me back, so I figured it was okay. That little thing was the most ridiculous thing I've ever met in my life. It lasted about a week at my house until I decided that they're not pets, and I sent it to a petting zoo. So that's my fun fact.
That is a very fun fact. Antonia, what's the craziest thing the goat did in your house in that week?
Like at 3 a.m, it learned how to open the doors. So it came in from outside and was walking around my living room. And then it just jumped over everything, it ate everything. It was insane.
No. Oh no.
Antonia, well, congratulations on realizing that goats are not pets. At least you didn't buy a lion. Like, at least you didn't have a lion rolling through your home. So thank you for that. And really, again, by the way, what was your biggest takeaway from the gala?
From the gala, it was this ability to influence people around you and how you have used that to advance your mission, which is blindness. And I have a similar mission for deaf children. I have a deaf daughter. So I'm going to actually be stealing the time capsule idea. We will be doing that at the gala we're putting on in November in New Mexico.
Amazing.
And I thought that was brilliant. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Appreciate you enormously. And what the ego, check the ego at the door piece. Where'd that come from?
Well, I didn't want to be honest, but I'm going to be forced to be honest here. So I thought Sean, I mean, you and I have been Facebook friends, but we certainly haven't had any one-on-one or understanding of your work. So I was like, this guy's just a lawyer that's going to tell lawyer stories for the next 2 days. And everybody loves to hear lawyer stories, our war stories. Right. And then after about 30 minutes, I started taking notes and I realized the content was fantastic. And I'm like, wow, this is wow. And I was like, I have such a freaking big ego. I am going to check it at the door when I walk in to learn anything new from now on.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that very much. 24 years building this. And what we consistently hear is there's no content like it on earth. I say it humbly, but that's what we hear time and time and time again. And you know why, Antonia? Because I studied all the content on earth and I put it together in usable format and ways that people can actually create acceleration. So thank you for those beautiful comments and for being there for all you're doing in the world and for sending the goat to the petting zoo. So awesome job. Thank you. G-Money.
Next, we have Mr. Frank Deming joining us today, originally from Dominican Republic, grew up in New York, now from Edison, New Jersey. He is the CEO, a Business Mastery alum, by the way, Sean, Local Business Marketing Solutions. For the past 14 years, he grew it himself to a team of 13 and works with all kinds of high-level professionals in legal and medical. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Frank Deming to the Real Raw.
Frank, hello, and welcome to the party.
Yep, thanks for having me at the party.
Yeah, thank you. And what's your fun fact, Frank?
Fun fact, She threw me for a loop there. I don't think I have any. I mean, the only thing.
Come on, man! You're not fun. Come on, man, Frank. You gotta have something that you have out there. Something. What's something we might not expect about you? Where's a moment where you laughed at yourself? Something ridiculous happened.
Okay. Fun fact about me, I guess. My business has outlived 3 marriages. That's a fun fact about me.
Yes, that is a very fun fact. Frank, that is one of our top 10 fun facts of all time. I think Antonia as well. You guys certainly make the top 20 all-time list with the GOAT story and having a business that outlasted 3 marriages. Think it is always good when your business outlasts 3 marriages because that makes you a business master. Because 96% of businesses fail. It may not make you a marriage master, Frank, but it makes you a business master. Or maybe it does make you a marriage master because you keep having them. So, Frank, thank you for being here today. And we're going to have some fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me. And Frank rolling in the courageous participant seats. Who will their judges be, Gina?
We have as our first judge, Ms. Irene Station. Irene, I already can't say your last name, from Jacksonville, Florida. She was with us this weekend, Sean Callaghan, a friend of Maria and Chad, currently en route from LBI to Rochester, New York, an investment relations extraordinaire, a mold recovery expert, and is building her personal development and health center in the Bahamas. So let's go, everyone. Please join me in welcoming Irene to the Real Raw.
And new member of Unblinded Elite, Irene. It's an honor and a privilege. What is present for you as we hit this Trajectory Tuesday post all of the festivities?
Amazing. Everything. I mean, just having about 2 hours by myself in the car, and just really having the time to think and synergize everything together. And it's so interesting, Sean, because, I've done a lot of personal development work and a lot of different courses and such, but something that I took away so special out of this weekend was just the distinctions. Like, cognitively, I understood it all. I've done a lot of different fun things, like walking on the fire and just doing things that scare you and all that kind of things. But really getting into the details, especially with the NLP and how to use that. That was brilliant. I understood it, but I never really actually had it to where I can use it. And just having, so this is my, I don't know what it's called, but this is my thing right now that I'm going to use for when I'm, getting nervous, or if I'm, don't want to do something. So, and it works. It totally works. So being able to have the high level understanding, the conceptual, and then bringing it down to usable, actionable steps like right away is fabulous.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Irene. And how about, and by the way, anchor, like we'll call that an anchor. You call whatever you
Anchor, yes, thank you.
call it like a sailboat, but we use the word anchor. And so, Irene, what's your fun fact?
Let's see. Okay. I have many. All right. So I worked on a show with the Oprah Winfrey Show called Love Town. It never aired, but it was so much fun in doing it. It relates to the mission of Unblinded too. So what we did actually that was incredible is that we had everybody pour into this tiny little town, St. Mary's, Georgia. And for a month, everybody just focused on acts of service and acts of love. And so it was anything from putting flowers on people's doorsteps to going to the post office and paying somebody's bill, or buying groceries for people, and then just documenting that whole thing. And that was just an amazing, fun experience because we laughed, we cried. I mean, it was 24/7 for a month solid, but it was incredible. And it was just amazing.
Well, Irene, thank you. Really appreciate being here today. And you ready to have some fun?
Yeah.
All right. Irene is in the house. G Money. Who else do we have rolling in the judge's seat?
Next, from Toronto, Sean Callaghy. And from the pharmaceutical industry, this man left the pharmaceutical industry, moved to precision wellness because he wanted to help people stay healthy. He is like a DNA master, from founder of the DNA company, approaching health and wellness in a personalized manner, using DNA as a guide to our bodies. Please join me welcoming Mr. Harris Khan to the Real Raw.
Harris in the house. Harris, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not yet spit, but I will spit. I will spit shortly, and I thank you for the gift. And Harris, how the heck are you, and what is your fun fact?
Thank you so much for having me here. I was a guest at the weekend this last weekend. I had an amazing time. My eyes were open to all the amazing work you're doing, Sean, with you and your team. Was very much blown away. So fantastic work there. Fun fact about me, I'm a very boring person, but I'll say that I am left-handed and I speak 4 languages. So,
whoa.
Wow.
Okay. So from lefty to lefty, what's up? Right. Number one. And what are your 4 languages?
So English, French, Urdu, and Punjabi, which they're similar, but they're different languages out of the South Asian continent. And I'm working on a 5th, which is German. So
whoa, look at this rock star. And you're in the CIA probably. So Harris, what was your biggest takeaway from the weekend?
Just understanding the value of establishing relationships and how far they reach. So a lot of people think that, oh, my network and my relationships is a key for me to make more revenue or make money, but it's way beyond that. And relationships establish much more than any kind of monetary benefit could ever reach you. So I thought that was extremely valuable.
Awesome. Well, Harris, thank you for being there, and thank you for your incredible gift. And I look forward to unpacking much as we go forward. So thank you, Harris.
Fantastic. Thank you.
G Money, we got Irene, we got Frank in the judges' seats, and we have
Mr. Chase Murator from New York City, a friend of Anthony Ortiz, also was with us this weekend, Sean, CEO of Bricklayer Solutions. He is conscious leadership all over the place, globally compressing their 5-year goals into 1-year accomplishments. He has prioritized building high caliber relationships. He gets it here. He gets what we're doing. Sean Callaghy, he wears a whole bunch of hats. Please join me in welcoming Chase Murator to the Real Raw.
Chase, how are you? Long time no see. I think we were hugging like at midnight as you're hopping on a bus.
Yeah, how are you doing, Sean? Great time.
I'm doing well.
Thank you so much for opening up your home. It was amazing.
Thank you. And what's your fun fact, Chase?
I played baseball in college. I had a lot of nicknames, and one of them was Hot Pants.
So. Hot Pants? That's amazing. So first of all, we'll get the Hot Pants. But I didn't know this. Where'd you play baseball?
I played Division I at Albany. I was only missing 2 things to play for the Yankees, and that was talent and ability. I had everything else.
Hey, so by the way, Albany, a good friend of mine's daughter And actually, this young lady played in high school soccer with my daughter. She is now the all-time hit leader on the Albany softball team. So it's a very fun fact. Her name is Katie Filatico, and she's just had torn it up. She hit over 500 at the collegiate level this past season. So very cool, from Albany to Albany person. And why hot pants, brother?
I showed up to a high school, baseball practice. I was the only guy in baseball pants, and all of a sudden I became hot pants. So, that's it.
That is amazing. So Chase, thank you for being here. You ready to rock this thing?
Of course, yes.
All right. G Money, we got Chase. Like, let's go. So, and
we got one.
Yep. Oh,
we have one more. Chase brought a friend. Chase brought an extraordinary friend with him.
Chase is phoning a friend. Who we got?
Jesse McLaughlin joining us today, a former 3 times Connecticut term representative, state representative. By the way, Sean, he was elected at the ripe old age of 24 years old. He now runs a small renewable energy consultancy and is an advocate for mental health and addiction treatment through psychedelic therapy. Bella Farina would love this man. Please join me in welcoming Jesse McLaughlin to the Real Raw.
Jesse, 24 years old, ridiculous, amazing. Chase shared some beautiful things about you. Welcome to the party. And I didn't even know if you could have any more fun facts, but we'll be a fun fact about you, Jesse.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me, Gina. Thank you so much. Fun fact, in my spare time, sometimes I like to nerd out about UFO research.
Ooh, let's drop in. So what's your perspective on UFOs? Real, not real? Like what's the down and dirty?
Some sort of technology. Don't know where it came from, but it's pretty cool.
All right, amazing. I'm loving it. So there's something out there. And in UFO, by the way, of course, we all know, is unidentified flying objects. So it doesn't mean it came from another galaxy, but it could. And so I'm immensely appreciative. And what was it like to get elected at 24?
I got lost on my way to graduate school, but it was an interesting experience. Got to talk to a lot of people, and learned a lot about how the world works. It was a beautiful experience and opportunity to serve.
Biggest takeaway from being in public office?
Oh man, biggest takeaway from being in public office. Oh man, listen, go for it, but it's the real work happens at home and in your, the best work you can do is to serve your next door neighbor. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of work to be done. So having a heart for service doesn't necessarily mean being in politics, but everyone should, do what they can to serve in their own capacity.
Awesome job, brother. And thank you for being here today.
Hey, Sean, I don't want to blow up Jesse's spot, but there's so much division in your weekend. You talked about Integris, and I told you last night about Jesse. So of all the division we see on the news, you probably never heard of Jesse McLaughlin. He's a Republican. He was a Republican state representative, and he made a conscious choice to vote across the aisle, knowing it would end his career, because it's the right thing to do, to hold police accountable if they shot and murdered a human being, especially for people of color. He did that under the radar with no publicity. Nobody has heard of it. And I thought just of the spirit of what you represent and what you talked about this weekend around influencing through integrity, I thought Jesse embodied that. And so that's why, I just want to shout him out for that with your community that you built here. So
amazing. Jesse, thank you for that. I'm all for the Purple Party, which realizes that we all agree on 99% of things, and that the news media and the news has created, which I don't even think is the news or news media, because who said that what they cover is actually news? Like, it starts there with like focal distortion and illusion. And so I'm a huge, unbelievable fan of what you did and your work, because that's what we need to do. And we need to find a space and a place where people are making decisions integriously and not in a bias of aligning with a two-party system, and who said it needs to be a two-party system. So Jesse, thank you for being here. And Chase, thank you for sharing that. Awesome.
Amen.
G Money, do we have the influence sorceress landed safely in the great state of Florida, or is she still circling the world?
She is here, baby. Like she's here.
Look at that. Just on time, like literally, just as we get to your spot, like you're making it. So thank you.
On the money.
Right, awesome. So, co-host of The Real Raw, Bella Rita, started selling crafts on her front lawn. As an 8-year-old, became the number one, seven-figure earner in the space of network marketing. At the ripe old age of 24, that must be like a magic number today. She became not the number 5432, but the number 1 business broker in the great state of Nevada, and the first woman to do so. So and today she's speaking on stages. She's co-hosting The Real Raw, and she's running Align Talent, which is sourcing talent and training it in marketing, selling, building, and growing your business. So the one, the only Bella Verita on this Trajectory Tuesday.
Hello, hello.
Hello. What's your fun fact, Bella?
My fun fact is I just got home to Florida after being gone for a month. I'm going from like Costa Rica to Jersey to Florida and all over the place. I have just landed back in Florida. I think that's pretty fun.
You have been in the Unblinded multiverse, and fun fact is you left this very room just a few hours ago, and now you're back in the great state of Florida. So welcome.
That is very true, yes.
And behind me is the great table, which James Bowman was working on me at like 1 a.m. to 1:30, or from midnight to 1:30 in the morning. And James Bowman is back across the country. So it's like a Western movie where everybody has gone their separate ways, but soon to be returning in the sequel. Bella Verita, welcome to the party. Yes, let's go get it. G-Money, we love you. Welcome to the multiverse. Fantastic job in all of the things. We'll see you soon, Gina.
See you soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great time. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now. Bella.
Now, Sean, you're going to have a big responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm on my phone, so I don't know. I don't know who the participants are, so
Yes.
you might actually have to choose who goes first today. Can you handle that pressure?
I don't know. I'm going to actually give it to you. So pick the letter A or the letter F.
Ooh, F.
F. Antonia and Frank are here. Frank, that means you're going first, my friend. Unless you decide to throw Antonia under the bus and make her go first. So Frank, does Antonia go under the bus?
I don't. Well, someone needs to tell me what is the process. So I don't mind going first. I just need to know the process.
Yes, sir. So what we're doing here is we're unpacking the superpower of influence.
Okay.
Because that's really all that matters. Otherwise, we're going to be solitary hunters hunting animals, or if you're Anthony Ortiz, Chase's buddy, you'll be picking berries and eating vegetables, which is awesome. But you'll be doing it by yourself with a superpower of influence, because it's what creates our relationships that we lead, that we manage, that we sell, market, raise money, recruit, for-profit, not-for-profit. All the things start and are formed with the superpower of influence, what we do with it, and how emotionally we get ourselves to use it. So what does all that gobbledygook mean, Frank? It means Bella Verita will be anybody you want her to be, but it's all about going from hello to yes with integrity. So Bella will be the person you're seeking a yes from. She could be an ideal client of yours, or she could be your next door neighbor they get to borrow a lawnmower from. We only recommend that you have something that matters to you, a yes that would matter to you in the world. So Frank, who would you like Bella to be?
Bella is a family law attorney.
Ooh. So Bella, you're a family law attorney. You got 3 minutes, Frank. And remember, this is not boiler room. It's not a hard yes. It's not closing people or pitching or hooking. We're here to open up listening, connect, and advance the conversation forward. So it doesn't have to be an ultimate yes. It doesn't have to be a sale. It could just be the next yes in a sequencing of yeses. Sound good, Frank?
Sounds perfect.
Awesome. Bella Verita, you're a family lawyer. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Frank Deming. You filled out the form on our website. You were looking for online marketing support?
Yes, that's true.
So what intrigued you most about our services, or what were you looking for when you filled out the form?
Yeah, I would say, really looking for someone who can get results in the terms of marketing, lead gen. We do, and maybe even some retargeting ads. We have a show that we do. We invite people on for a shared experience, but I think there's a lot that we could do in, follow-up marketing, retargeting marketing. We've been building our list for a while and haven't really done anything with it. So I want to see what the possibilities are.
Are you currently doing it yourself, or are you work with another agency, or what's,
Yeah, so we currently have someone in-house that kind of oversees it. We have, it's like our front desk person is kind of also taking care of our social media as well. So there's no really plan behind anything.
Yeah, I see that a lot. What are the challenges you're getting? I see that a lot, by the way.
I would say I think the biggest challenge is, I think people see it, but it doesn't cause them to do anything. So there's no call to action. I don't really know how many people are seeing it. And I don't think there's any actual financial gain. I guess that's happened with anything. It's just kind of, we're doing it because we're supposed to.
Okay. If you were to give me access to your back end office of the Google AdWords or Facebook ads or whatever you're running right now, would you be able to sit down with me and my team and maybe the rest of your partners on the firm so we can show you a way that we can turn that around for you? But I just need to see what you're doing first to be able to give it. Would that be something worth, 15, 20 minutes of your time?
Yeah, if I give you like access, is that like you can see everything in my account? Like, I don't know if I completely know, like, how does that work?
Yeah, you can give me read-only access. All I just need to know is what keywords you're driving, rather than just ask you. If I can take a look at your account, I'll be able to decipher if we can help you or not. Is that something that you'll be interested in?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, as long if I can get a read only, that would work.
Yeah. So let's set up a time. If you're the decision maker, that's fine. But if there's someone else that you think should be a part of the meeting, I'd love to set up a time. I just need about 2 days. So 2 days from now, I'll be able to sit down with you, like I said, 15, 20 minutes and give you a roadmap going forward.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Frank, awesome job. Hey, Bella, I'm sorry, you get a quick phone call. It's your current internet marketer that's saying if you give over anything to Frank, they're going to try to put you in jail for breaching your licensing contract. So I would call the police and I would call a lawyer. And by the way, you might want to check out some plant medicine with like chasing.
You got it.
All right. Excellent. Awesome job. So thank you, Frank. Antonia, are you ready to go?
Ready to rock and roll.
Let's do it. Who do you want Bella to be?
Bella, you are going to be Mama Gina, who is the author of a book called, Mama Gina, don't you, Bella? You raised
I do know Mama Gina, yes.
All right.
I don't remember the name of her. What's the name of her book, though? I don't remember the name of her book.
It's called Pussy, Bella.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be Mama Gina, and I want to come
I can't see Sean right now, but I'm sure he just did like a face plant head into the palms of his hands.
What is the name of the book?
He didn't hear us. That's why. The name of the book is called Pussy.
Oh my God.
It is really, Antonia, just so Sean knows, how would you describe Mama Gina?
No.
Mama Gina is like this 70-year-old crazy lady, but she wrote a really empowering book for women, and she has a very big following of women, and I want her following. I want to be on her podcast.
Yeah, she's very disruptive, Sean.
I am not confused. Okay, Bella, Mama Gina, take us in.
Hello, this is Mama Gina.
Hi, Mama Gina. Thank you for taking the call. This was such a great honor of mine that you would give me a few minutes of your time to talk about my new book and how it might serve your community.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was told that you would be calling.
Yes.
So you want to talk about your book?
No, I want to talk about your book. I want to talk about just the incredible impact your book has had on women worldwide. I literally buy it every year for Christmas, and I give it to every woman I know. And I've used it in my law practice actually over the years. And I really give it to women because they need to find that power. And you just had a voice to be able to help them find that power.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So after I met you, I guess it would have been last October, when I was on your, I took one of your classes, you and I met during that. it was really astounding to me, the work you did and how a lot of the women in the community that you're in are getting divorced or leaving relationships. And it just really propelled me to want to finish this book that I was working on. And, I wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's very, very kind of you. Tell me about what is your book about?
So I wrote a book. It's for women getting divorced, and it really talks about the psychology of divorce. And it talks about how, as women, we need to really go after and get what we want, similar to what your book is. And my real goal is to reach women when they're in this time of crises and walk them out of that and give them the power to walk themselves out of that.
That definitely sounds like it is aligned with our mission for sure.
Considering the book was a genesis after reading your stuff, I can see that. And I'd love to come on your podcast. I'd love to send you a copy of the book for sure, and to see if there's any opportunity to align so we can reach women together.
I would definitely be interested in that, Antonio. So I would suggest reaching out to my assistant and let's get a longer conversation on the calendar.
I'll make sure we get that done. Is there a time that's better for you? And how
I would just reach out to my assistant. I don't want to deal with the calendar. So I would just reach out to her and she'll get it all scheduled for you.
Perfect. I agree with that, but I'm not allowed to handle my own calendar because I tend to ruin things for everybody around me. So I totally understand.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for your time, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Antonio. You too.
Excellent job, Antonia. Yeah. Hi, Mama Gina.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just curious of what the next book you write is going to be called, but I don't think we should be saying that on the air. So we'll come up with all right. So Antonia, great job. Let's see what the judges have to say. Getting us going. So Irene, let's start with Frank. Please, 30 seconds of feedback, 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized, then a score on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is you had to tackle the person, couldn't let them out of your sight. A 0 is you would jump off a building before staying another minute. So Irene, what do you got for Frank?
Frank, I think a 9.2. I love how you did the introduction with gratitude and impact, asking the questions, and then just how you diffused the last piece where you were talking about the calendar and you brought it together to understanding. And it was just, it was a great way, the way that you closed it. And what's the second part?
That's it. You score 1. That's awesome. Okay. You get the score right, 9.2. Harris, Let's flip it over to Antonia with interesting book titles like Here on the Railroad Today. But what 30 seconds of feedback and a score do you have, Harris?
What was the title of that book, Sean?
It was the P word, Bella Verita. So Harris, what do you have for Antonia?
Yeah, Antonia, I think she did a really good job introducing herself and being, grateful to be able to speak to Mama Gina. I think overall, I would give her grade a 7.5, just because I felt like there was a little bit of tension towards the end, where it wasn't immediately clear, or maybe there was a little bit of confusion. So really nailing that ending would really bump your score up there.
Nice. Like stick the landing. It's like gymnastics.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick the landing. All right. Thank you, Harris, for that. Let's go, Chase. What do you have, please, for Frank?
For Frank, I thought he did a great job asking qualifying questions, and he's obviously gone through that before a couple of times. He knew what he needed to execute. I thought when his customer listed out some of the challenges, he could have repeated some of those back to her and even gone a little bit deeper with that. So the total score, I'll give a solid 7.
Amazing. Love that. And Jesse, I think if you run for public office again, I think somehow adopting an ecosystem merger with Mama Gina and her book title, and say, I think there's something there. So I don't know, but I think there's something there. So, but Jesse, what would you say in feedback for 30 seconds for Antonia?
I thought Antonia did a great job, establishing a platform of, gratitude to really set a table of openness. I think maybe areas for improvement are, maybe asking more specific questions that could set up an opportunity for, a follow-up appointment a little bit more smoothly. But other than that, I'd give her an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Excellent job. Love it, Jesse. Great job to both Frank and Antonia. And this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, where we see if we could have even some more fun, heart-centeredly, and all the things. Belvery, what do you think? You up for some more fun today? A little magic?
Let's definitely have some more fun. I think Sean Callagy,
Yes, sir.
you know, you always like have folks like come on to the show and you put them in the hot seat and you talk about rolling people over with buses and all kinds of crazy things. And you know, since you're always like, you know, running people, threatening to roll people under buses and stuff, I think someone on the show should get to put your butt in the hot seat.
All right, so let's do it. So I accept the challenge, and let's go. I have a number between 1 and 6 under the desk. Antonia, Bella, you don't play. Antonia, what do you got?
Oh.
What number do you think?
Number 1.
Number 1. It is okay. Let's keep going. What do you have? Let's go, Frank.
I would go with number 1 as well.
Okay. Well, you had to do a different number because that number was already claimed by Antonia.
I'm sorry. I thought I could choose.
He's always, you know, making up rules as he goes along.
You can go 2 through 6 now.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say number 6 then.
Okay. Let's go, Chase.
I'll do 5.
Okay, Jesse.
2.
Okay, let's go to Harris.
4.
It is 4. Harris has it. Anything? Okay, so Harris, you get to either set the scenario or pass it to somebody that's got to accept it, right? So now it's like you go or put somebody under the bus. And what this is
See, there's that bus again. So you got to be careful around here. All these people being thrown under buses.
Buses are all over the place. So I am going to be on the hot seat, as Bella said, just like Frank was and Antonia has been. And so this is about you setting or passing it off to somebody else, a scenario where I have to go from hello to yes. So Bella, besides being President Biden, President Trump, I've had a few other interesting scenarios just to give a flavor to Harris.
Yes, all kinds of crazy scenarios, you know, fun ones that might relate to Mom and Gina's, like, you know, 3-minute marriage proposals to keep, you know, women in the country, you know, negotiating for last seats on airplanes, even getting a conservative New Jersey attorney to say yes to going to Burning Man, and, you know, all kinds of crazy scenarios in there in between.
Yes. So Harris, would you like to set the scenario where I have to go from hello to yes with someone, or would you like to assign somebody else that mission?
Yeah, sure. I can set up the scenario. So who would be with you? Kind of like
you get to pick that too. Could be you or somebody else.
Okay, cool. Okay, you are an entrepreneur who's looking to raise investment money for his cookware startup, his innovative cookware startup, and you're looking to raise some money from an investor.
Amazing.
And that investor is Bella.
How about, would you mind, Harris, picking anybody else? Just because, you know,
sure.
We don't want people to think Bella's going easy on me.
Okay, let's do Antonia.
And like, Sean, I'm just curious, when was the last time that you actually even touched a piece of cookware?
I don't even know what cookware actually is. So Harris,
these are these like pots and pans types things, Sean.
No, don't give me any hints. Don't give me any hints. Don't give me any
Well,
hints.
if you've got to get people in investing in for you, I think you should know what cookware is.
I think I'll be okay. Harris, so who's it going to be, Harris?
Let's do Antonia.
All right, Antonia, you ready? You and your Mama Gina fandom?
Yes.
How about Antonia? Would you be Mama Gina, and I'll be seeking an investment from Mama Gina?
Sure. Yes.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
All right,
you can't go easy on him, Antonia.
All right. So hey, Mama Gina, thank you. It's a pleasure, honor to meet you. I have a show called The Real Raw. Some people are talking about your book and your work in the world, and I'm incredibly grateful for a couple of minutes to speak with you. I know you only have 3 minutes. Thank you for creating this space.
Nice to meet you, Sean. I've also heard about you.
Well, thank you. So, Mama Gina, I am present to your disruption in the world. I am present to the title of your book, which for me is very challenging and uncomfortable to say, which I'm sure unpacks a lot. But the lightning bolt on my hat stands for the disruptive energy of what we do as well. So I honor you as a fellow integrous disruptor because my perspective about your work is that you stand in the space of truth. Is that a fair thought?
It is, and that's why I wrote the book, Sean, is because men have trouble saying the word.
Yeah.
It's just a word, Sean.
Absolutely. And listen, and I got all kinds of problems. That's just one of them. So thank you for helping me see that. And who knows, by the end of this 3 minutes, where I'll get myself to be in that space. So thank you again for everything you're doing. And I have an interesting, fun share. Right. I am not a foodie. I don't really. I never cook. However, I've created a company with an unbelievable CEO who's wildly passionate about food, health, and all the things. And his name is Anthony Ortiz. And he has this, he originally created and has a venture called Smart Plate, but he also has a line of cookware that, and I think, Antonia, I'm sorry, Mama Gina, I presume that you're present to this reality and story as well, that when people are thinking about what they want to do in the world and how they want to build things, it's all about the who, like all about the who to drive something forward once you have the story. You know, the idea of Facebook becoming Facebook, there was no clue when they started this, but they had the who. They had Mark Zuckerberg. Like him or not, the guy was incredible. Microsoft, same thing with Bill Gates. He didn't even have a program to write the software. He had to go buy it in a garage. It was the who that created Microsoft. So Anthony's a genius. He's straight up unbelievable. I know a bunch of his friends. He's making magic happen. And what's remarkably interesting about this, I'll share in a second. But first, I want to know, what's your mission? Like, I get the idea of creating disruption, supporting women. You got an incredible tribe. But what's the legacy that you hope to leave, Mama Gina?
That women find their God-given worth to find power in the world. And Sean, I'm just really hopeful that you're not scheduling this call to be part of my community just because you think women cook or should cook.
Listen, there's no way. I went to Columbia University and they would have chopped off my feet and my hands if I presumed any group of people would do anything in the world like that, especially thinking that women cook. So I got slapped in the head 19 times taking my political science classes at Barnard as a freshman, and I learned my lessons well, Mama Gina.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm definitely not doing that. But what I do think is in the disruptive energy that you bring to the space and the concept of how people can step into their health with these cookware dynamics that have unique features and dynamics. I'm not here to present all the details because quite frankly, Mama Gina, I'm an integrous person. I don't really understand some of the unique scientific distinctions of what makes this stuff amazing. I'm just telling you that the who and the story behind it, there's a lot there. And I think it would be worth you taking 30 minutes to have a conversation because of those people, well, I'm presuming, and you shared it, your desires to create massive impact in the world. And, straight up, I'll even do this. Here's my conditional yes. I will even say the title of your book, which is a word I don't ever say. I'll say it every day for a week, honoring, acknowledge you, and total fun energy, because I love to laugh, Mama Gina. If we could say yes and have a 30-minute meeting, and if it's not worth it, and you tell me it's not worth it, I will be happy to say the title of your book for the next year and turn my face purple every single day doing it, because I do know there's something here. And as an entrepreneur, a person with a massive tribe, there's a lot here to unpack. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
Just say it once, Sean.
Yeah. Well, I am very excited.
And then we're good to go.
I'm very excited to read your book, Pussy, and I'm ready to do it starting tomorrow. So thank you, Mom.
Sean Callaghan, you're gonna have to tell Michael Smikin that you just did that.
Yes, and by the way, I had to drink oregano or oil of oregano, like massive sips of it to help my throat on the other night. That was easier than doing that. So thank you, Antonio.
Comfort zone, Sean. Welcome outside your comfort zone.
Thank you. I do step out a bunch, but that's an interesting space that I do not. So Antonia, how did I do?
You did fantastic. I really like that You didn't try to own the, I can't tell you the scientific piece behind it, but I know that there's this other thing that I know makes the difference. So I thought that was fantastic.
Well, thank you. Harris, how'd I do, my friend?
I think you did a great job accepting the fact that you weren't the subject matter expert on the product, but really what you were looking for was to help land the actual conversation where you could bring in the CEO and let him sell it with his vision and everything, and you really were that connector. So that was awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Harris. So Harris, appreciate you being here today and all that you're up to in the world. How was your experience today on The Real Raw?
It was an excellent experience. I think I totally see the value of this. I'll admit I was a bit confused about what The Real Raw was, and I think there's something cool about that. But as I experienced it, I realized how much value this brings to everyone in the room, not just the judges, but the people obviously interacting with each other. So thank you for having me. I'm honored to be a guest here.
No, thank you, brother. Appreciate you enormously. Great job. And I'm really excited to learn more about your work. So thank you, Harris.
Perfect. Thanks.
Irene, how was your time on The Real Raw today? Thank you for being here. I know you've been immersed in what's going on. How was your time with us?
Excellent. I think it really hones in on some of the personal stakes in the ground that I had promised to myself and to the team yesterday. And I think it just, again, the repetition and the repeating, and it's just really interesting. I just love how easily you went through the steps. Right. So like in the this weekend, we really talked about each individual step, but I love how you gained rapport, you used humor, talking about your legacy. And then again, the way that you got Mama Gia to commit at the end, it was a flow, but it didn't feel like anything. It just felt like so natural.
Well, thank you.
It's good to see it. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what we do here every day. We have more than 3,000 people on The Real Raw so far, and you guys have joined that amazing ecosystem. So thank you, Irene, for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Chase, brother, what say you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing Jesse. How was your time with us today?
It was awesome. It was so much fun, and seeing how excuse me, how all the unique skills that you've been teaching the last couple days at the function, plays out in real time. So I'm going to be completely honest with you and Integris. I felt your certainty completely drop at one point when she challenged you with at one point, but then you recovered it by saying, I'm not the industry expert. So your certainty dropped, and then you recovered, and then it shifted back. Just keep 100 with you.
Yeah. Awesome, brother. Well, and that's the whole thing. We're not robots, right? And so we can immediately recover our certainty though, and keep driving forward. So thank you for that, Chase.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jesse, thank you, man. And thank you for being an Integris leader in government and for stepping up and doing something that so few would. You are an example of possibility. You're a leader causing leadership. It's an honor and privilege to get to connect with you. And how was your time with us on The Real Raw today?
Thanks, Sean. This is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the role play, seeing you do things like creating a framework where you're establishing a common ground that, hey, technology is cool and all, but don't we agree that there's value in good people who want to change the world? We agree on that, right? Well, I want to introduce you to somebody that's doing that, and it takes all the focus off of the what itself and into the who. And I thought that was a really interesting way that a really interesting framework for you to build. I'm certainly taking notes, and it's an honor to be connected with you folks.
No, thank you, Jesse. And I had the privilege of being on a board. I have a 5-person board. I don't mean a board with like 50 people or 100 people, with Bill Gross, who's the most successful quantitative entrepreneur in the history of the world. He has 7 companies that he took from $0 to $1 billion. And, Bill Gross says all the time, the number one issue is the who, because there's going to be a million things that go on. Everybody thinks it's the idea. But it's really the who, because the who understands that the idea may innovate a million times. And as Tony Robbins says, like, what business are you in? What business are you really in? What business do you need to be in? That changes constantly. The who can adapt. So Jesse, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Thank you. Antonia, that was fun. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for the Mama Gina scenario. That was cool as well. And how was your time with us on The Real Raw? Great job.
This is fantastic. This is fun. I love the ecosystem that you're building and what you're doing. And This was really great. And I saw the James Bowman table as soon as you got on there. The minute James walked into the room, I was like, man, this guy's got it together. So, this was wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And James is a dear friend. And James is the person, and I say this in support of James, that works on Tony Robbins' body with him all over the world, every seminar, everything Tony does. James Bowman is working on his body throughout the progressions. And Tony's got the relationship trip coming up, and James will be there. And I had the honor and privilege of having James come here and give me the privilege of sharing that time. I'll tell you who Tony Robbins is. So at an event recently, I was getting some body work done, and Tony actually said to James, and James, shared, he's like, Tony was like, well, whatever Sean needs, I'll move the schedule around. I'm like, you crazy? Like, this is Tony Robbins, man, and what he's delivering to the world. But that's who Tony is. That's who James is. And he's absolutely extraordinary. So thank you, Antonio.
I go to Seattle to see James because he's worth it. He's worth every minute of travel time to go see him. Yeah.
Well, Antonia, thank you so much. Appreciate you, and great job today. Frank, appreciate you enormously. Wonderful work, my friend. And how was your time with us here on the Real Raw?
Well, I loved it. I didn't know what to expect. I just said yes because I'm a yes person. So I said, yeah, let's check it out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there this weekend. I had prior commitments, but hopefully I'll be able to make it to the next one. But yeah, I love what you're doing here. It's I love the energy. I just love the whole participation thing. It's excellent.
Well, thank you, Frank, and look forward to seeing you in the future. Our next live event, we're going to be in Miami on November 19, 2021. Should be having some fun. Bella Verita, Miami's a little different than Long Beach Island. And how are you doing today? What's your final?
Yes, Miami is definitely a little bit different. Final today, Sean, is I want to anchor in on, the masterful, magic moment that you had today, because, yes, you mentioned the name of Mama Gina's book, Pussy, but but I think what's really important here is you started off the conversation with like, you don't say that, like that's uncomfortable for you. So the fact that you did it in the conversation, to me, was the utmost level of respect and acknowledgement. It wasn't just like throw it in there for fun energy. It really was like, I can imagine if it was Mama Gina, that would really truly touch her heart. And so I wanted to anchor on that wasn't like a fun moment, that was actually, could land very as an inspiration that, you moved and acknowledged her. So I wanted to drop in on that. And final is, yes, have a conversation with one of our teammates and find out how you can join us for the party in Miami.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Sean.
And we'll drop that gift in the chat for everybody, which is what is the formula? How does this all work? We have that for you. And by the way, that's not like a nice little throwaway 7-page book. I mean, in-depth, rocking stuff that's controlling your money, time, and magic. Because there is a formula there's like forces, a formula, an algorithm that is controlling your money, your time, and your magic. And our work in the world is to support people and rise in their mastery so they gain more freedom of choice, to be a leader causing leaders to come together to make magic happen in the world. So love you guys, appreciate it enormously. And Bella Verita, the biggest challenge though is we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Love you guys.
You and me, babe.